Um, Alrighty. So, how to stay consistent even when motivation is gone, because motivation is one of those flaky friends, right? So, the truth about motivation is that there are so many factors that go into feeling motivated. So, it is really hard for all of them to align to actually make you feel motivated. If your sleep is off a couple nights, you're not going to feel as motivated. If you have high stress going on in your life, whether that's like family issues, work issues, or whatever, you're just not going to feel as motivated with all that stress going on around you. And then having emotions that time of the month, right? You definitely feel like you don't really want to go work out. You just feel like garbage. You want to sit on the couch and eat a lot of chocolate and binge Netflix. And then also your environment. Your environment can really either boost your motivation or really take away from it. So if you have constantly like treats around you all the time and you're always having to say no, if it's super hard for you to get to the gym because it's a 30-minute drive, the environment that you live in does play a role on your motivation. And if you rely on motivation, you'll always feel like you're starting over. And so you want to make sure that you don't feel like you're starting over or have an all or nothing mindset. Okay, so this is my boy, Dave Ramsey. You guys have heard me quote him before. I love him. I think he's great. He's a financial coach. So this is talking about his financial coaching, but I feel like it fits really well with fitness as well. So he always says, children do what feels good, but adults devise a plan and follow it. And that goes for financial planning. Like if you feel like you want to spend money, if you don't feel like you want to budget, if you don't feel like you want to skip out on a vacation so you can put money in your savings, it doesn't really feel good to do those stuff in the moment. It kind of just feels like it sucks, and it feels like you're kind of like putting yourself behind or missing out on life. But adults have a plan and then they follow it. And so if you take the things that are hard to do in the short term, in the long term, you're going to look back on yourself and be so proud of yourself for kind of like turning down those treats or not eating as much or going out for a walk instead of sitting on the couch. And all of those things are going to compound over time. And then you're going to be looking back 3, 6, 12 months down the road and being like, holy crap, I'm so proud of myself for saying no to those things that seemed so fun in the moment, because now look where I'm at like 6 or 12 months down the road. And that goes the same with financial planning. Like if you're putting money into savings rather than buying little things on Amazon, that's going to compound over time. And then down the road, you're going to be like, holy crap, I'm out of debt. I have a savings fund. I have an emergency fund, and you just feel so much better that you kind of worked on that discipline and stuck to your plan. So discipline is better than motivation. I'm sure you guys have heard your coaches say this before, but motivation says I'll go when I feel ready, and discipline says I'll go no matter what. So this is kind of like scheduling your workouts into your day. And instead of being like, oh, I'll just go when I feel like it, but then morning comes around, you have a busy morning, afternoon comes around, and you're like, oh, I'd rather just kind of take a nap. And then after work comes and you're like, oh, I just really don't really feel like it. And then it's 9 p.m. and you're like, okay, well, I have to go, even though I don't really feel like it. Do you know, I'm just going to push this workout to tomorrow because tomorrow's supposed to be a rest day. So it kind of just... whereas if you were to develop discipline and go no matter what, and you have it scheduled on your calendar for 7 to 8 a.m., and you go and you show up and get it done, then it's not kind of like lingering over you all day and you don't push it off. And so the discipline to show up when it's on your calendar is huge, and it will make it so that you don't really need the motivation. You just go no matter what because it's on your calendar. And then this does sound extreme. Like that quote from Dave Ramsey, it can sound pretty extreme, but it's not. You don't need to be super extreme about things. You don't need to be 100% perfect. All you do is need a plan, a good baseline, and a couple non-negotiable standards. So think, what is the minimum I will do even on my worst day? I also have days where I don't want to go to the gym. Like I've had days where I pull up to the gym and I'm in the parking lot, and then I kind of sit in my car, scroll on Instagram, maybe post something on my story. And then I'm like, do you know what? I really don't want to go to the gym today. And then I drive home and then I go for a walk outside instead. And so even on my worst day, I'm still getting in movement. I still got in a 45-minute walk. So I'm not just doing nothing, but I still did something. And then the next day I went in and got that workout done. So kind of think to yourself, like, what is the minimum I will do even on my worst day? So set a bare minimum standard. Your success isn't built on perfect days. It's built on average days. So kind of like what I said in the beginning, there's so many things that have to be going perfectly in your life to have the highest motivation days. And that's just unrealistic to think of. You're always going to have stress. There's always going to be family issues. There's always going to be work stress. There's always going to be money stress. There's always going to be something going on in your life that is going to take away from the motivation. And so just on your normal average days, that's where your bare minimum standard comes into play. So having a 10-minute workout instead of skipping the workout completely, or having a 10-minute workout. So just going in, doing a couple lifts, and then heading out. Hitting your protein goal. So even if calories aren't perfect, you still hit your protein goal, and that's a win. Or on the other hand, staying within your calories, even if you didn't hit your protein goal. Obviously, you want to hit your protein goal as much as possible, but if your goal is fat loss, staying within your calories is going to be super important. So that is also a win. And then going out and walking instead of doing absolutely nothing. So how can you basically kind of think about it, like, how can you win the day in the simplest way possible? And then one thing that can help make motivation a little bit easier is remove some friction. So if it's hard to start, you're probably not going to start. If you have to drive 45, 60 minutes to get to the gym, you're probably not going to make it to the gym that often, because that's a long drive to get there, right? Try to find a gym that's closer to you, or have some workout equipment at home. So that way you don't even have to worry about a commute. But then that way you can take the friction out of driving 45 minutes to the gym to get you there, or get your workouts done. So another thing that you can do is just lay out your gym clothes the night before. Some people sleep in their gym clothes. I would never do that. I think sports bras are uncomfortable. So you can lay out your gym clothes the night before, so you don't have to think about it when you wake up in the morning and like, oh, what am I going to wear? And then it takes an extra like 10, 20 minutes to decide what you're going to wear. And so if you have it laid out the night before, you just wake up, put it on, brush your teeth, head out the door. And then pre-log your meals. So if you struggle with staying within your calorie goals, what I recommend doing is repeating meals and just pre-logging them throughout the week. So I have one guy who will pre-log his meals for like Monday through Friday, and he has the same breakfast, same lunch, and then he'll kind of like switch up dinner or snacks a little bit. And so that way he pre-logs majority of his food for the week, so he doesn't have to stress about that every single day. And he's not trying to puzzle piece things together. He just knows he has the plan, and then he'll stick to it. And then another thing that will remove a lot of friction is just have easy, high protein foods on hand. I always have frozen chicken in my freezer. So if I ever needed something and I was kind of like in a situation where I'm like, I'm hungry, I don't want to go to the store, I don't have anything in my fridge, I know I always have frozen chicken, so I can just pop those in the air fryer, eat them, move on with my day. So that can be my baseline. And then removing some friction would be to not keep trigger foods in the house. If there is a food that you know you just can't control yourself around and you're going to eat the entire package if it's in the house, just don't have it in the house. If you really want that food that day, make it harder for you to get it. So that way you have to actually put on your shoes, get in your car, drive to the grocery store, grab that food, drive all the way home, and then eat it. So there's so many steps between you getting that food and you eating it, and it will cause a lot of friction to have those. So that would be like a bag of chips. So if you get like a family size bag of chips and you know you're going to eat like 3/4 of it or the whole thing in one sitting, if you have it in your house, then what I'd recommend doing is going to the store, buying the bag of chips in the single serving size, and then take it home with you and then eat that one single serving size. So that way it's not in your way, and you don't have to use a ton of willpower to not eat the entire bag. And then schedule workouts like appointments. I think this is so important to do. This is what I do. I'm very, very busy. And so I make sure that I put my workout on my calendar. And so that way nobody can schedule calls during that time. Nobody can bug me during that time because it's marked off on my calendar. And so they don't have access to me during that time. So I stick my workouts onto my calendar and I treat it like work. If I don't get it done, then something bad happens. I don't get paid. I don't know. I don't get paid to work out. I wish I did, but I just keep it on there to make sure that I do get it done. But it is a non-negotiable for me. Stop chasing an all or nothing mindset. So the fastest way to quit is thinking I already messed up, so it doesn't matter. I think one of the best ways to look at this is if one tire in your car is flat, you're not going to slash the other 3 tires. You're just going to go get one new tire, right? So in reality, one off meal isn't failure. If you overeat on your calories one day, that's not a failure. And one missed workout isn't starting over. You didn't get off the you didn't get off the wagon. You're not getting off the wagon and back on the wagon. You just need to have a kind of like a healthy baseline so you don't feel like you're constantly on the wagon or off the wagon or keep starting over again. We talked about this in a whole presentation, but building an identity. So stop thinking I'm trying to lose weight and start thinking I'm someone who eats healthy. I am a healthy person. I am someone who works out. I am someone who takes care of my body. And once you can change your identity from, I have to do this program so I can lose weight. And then after I lose weight, I'm just going to like not do it as much because I don't want to. And I just wanted to lose the weight. And then once I lose the weight, I'll just be able to maintain it. See how that kind of is like a negative mindset. And it's not going to be a mindset that will help you maintain your fat loss results. Even if you do get your, reach your body weight goal, you're not going to be able to maintain it long-term with that kind of mentality. Unless you are someone who genuinely enjoys eating healthy or someone who genuinely enjoys working out and going to the gym and someone who genuinely enjoys taking care of your body, it's probably not going to stick. So if you can start switching your identity to somebody who is fit, then you will be able to stick to it way longer than somebody who's just trying to get to their goal weight just so they can maintain that and then they don't have to work out or stress about things anymore. But your actions will follow your identity, and every small action is a vote for who you are becoming. And then have a plan for those low motivation days. So we already know that motivation is going to drop. We're not going to be 100% motivated every single day. We're not going to have great energy levels. We're not going to sleep great every single night. We're not going to have boyfriends that don't stress us out. We're always going to have something that like does pop up. And so we just need a plan for those low motivation days. So ask yourself, what will I do when I'm tired? Will I still go and work out? Will I swap that workout for a walk? Will I go for a run? Will I just kind of like push me being tired aside and still go in and get my workout done? Will I go in and do a couple lifts instead of all the lifts? Like, what is your baseline for low motivation days? And then what is your backup workout? I kind of just touched on that last one, but you can go for a walk instead of going to the gym. That's also a win. And then what is your easiest healthy meal? Do you have healthy meals in your freezer? Do you have healthy meals in your fridge? Do you have healthy items in your pantry? Like, do you have like tuna packets or I have like protein ramen in there. So that way I can just microwave it really quick if I need something easy. So like, what is your easiest healthy meal? So that way you have a plan for low motivation days. So not having a plan is relying on willpower, and having a plan is automatic action. I don't really have the option to eat pizza every single day. I don't have the option to eat kind of like lasagna or whatever high calorie, high fat food options, because I don't have those in my fridge. I have a lot of kind of like lower calorie, high protein options in my fridge and in my pantry so that I don't have to rely on willpower, because on days where I'm not feeling motivated, I would for sure reach for some pizza rather than going and preparing this nice like steak salad or whatever. So having those things in my freezer and in my pantry just make it automatic for me so that I don't have to exercise willpower when it comes to making a healthy choice on days that I don't feel super motivated. Okay, so focusing on winning weeks, not winning days. So I actually started day trading last month, which is awful, starting to day trade in the middle of a war. I'm not very good at it, but I think one thing that I have taken away from it is they don't focus on winning days. Like if you have a trade that goes through that went really well, they focus on having winning weeks. And so they don't care if like day by day they win some, lose some, win some, lose some, as long as by the end of the week they are in a surplus. So they had a winning week. And I think that's a really good way to think about it with health and fitness. It's not, every day is not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to be your best day. Every day is not going to be your best. But as long as the week in or as a whole is a net positive, that's when you're like, okay, I'm making change, because majority of my weeks are a net positive. So I am doing well. So you can ask yourself, did I show up most of the days this week? And did I stay consistent overall? So progress comes from stacking decent days and not perfect ones. So you want to have winning weeks, not just winning days. It's impossible to have winning days every single day. And then here's the final takeaway. You don't need more motivation. You just need a system that you can stick to even when your motivation isn't there. Show up imperfectly, do the bare minimum when needed. On days that you do have that motivation, really push yourself, take advantage of those days. But just keep going anyway. Even if you don't feel motivated, stick to the plan, and that's how results will actually happen. Okay, so instead of a Q&A today, because I know all of you guys aren't super questiony, you don't have a lot of questions on these presentations. I want you guys to tell me what you do when you have no motivation. Like, what is your baseline? And I am going to pick on Kim and Melissa first here. Kim and Melissa, what is your baseline?
I think for me, like, because I try to at least do like a mile or two in the morning on the treadmill before I go to work. Because if not, I won't get my steps in because I'm behind a computer most of the day.
Yeah.
So if the alarm goes off and it's really early, it's like 4:30. So I'm like, at least if I could do because I always leave my clothes out. So I do that. So it's ready. I just put them on. I'm like, I at least need to do 5 minutes. And then by the time I get on there, then usually I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and do 10 minutes and do a mile.
Yeah, you're not just
so 5 minutes. So part of it is like at least make myself start, and then and sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm done. But for the most part, that usually helps me finish it. And then the other thing I thought about when you were talking in the beginning about stress, my job's really demanding and very stressful. And so before I started this program, it was like, instead of working out, then I would just be like, forget it, open some wine, and I'll sit down with a bottle of wine in front of the couch. And now it's like I have a stressful day. I'm like, I'm ready to do my workout, because I kind of use that like physical release to kind of balance that stress. So
good. Yeah, that's awesome. It's a healthy way to look at it.
Yeah, I do miss the wine sometimes.
You can do the wine after the workout.
Yeah, our wine intake has dropped considerably, but I would say just having someone else to like just give you like a little push, like, come on, let's go. So Melissa's always super good with that.
Yeah.
Just having someone else tell you to get up and go live.
Time to work out. Let's go.
Like, come on. And then I kind of dilly-dally during the workout, and she's always like, come on, let's go. So it could take me like 2 hours if I did it by myself most of the time.
Yeah.
But it's always nice to have someone else to bounce off of too.
Good. Yes, definitely. Let's pick on Kara.
Hey. Well, my thought is on this whole thing is I don't want to go work out. I get myself down to my workout room and start. It just changes your whole attitude, your whole perspective on why you're down there. So if I can just tell myself, you got to get down there, even if it just gets in your workout clothes, get your shoes on, and I get started on the first 50% of my workouts, I feel like, okay, I got this, I can do this. That's why I have to go down there every day. So that's what gets me going, is just getting down there and starting. And then it's like, oh, I can keep going. I'm enjoying this. I'm feeling better about myself today. So that's what I do.
Totally. Yeah. On those days where you're like, oh, I just don't want to do it. You know what? I'm just going to put my clothes on, get down there, maybe do like one exercise.
Yep.
If I hate it, then I'll stop. But then normally you're like, okay, I feel so much better.
It is. And then with the music on with it, it's like, yep, I'm doing this. It's me time. We got this. So that's just what I do. Just like this morning, I didn't want to go walking this morning on my treadmill, but I did. And I ended up doing 4 miles, and it felt good. And, you know, so I just got to get yourself down there.
Awesome. Let's pick on Lindsay. Lindsay, what is your baseline?
I would just say that it took so long to get where I'm at. And before I started, it didn't take very long, and it was very easy to get to an unhappy place. So my motivation is just, I don't want to get back to where I was. So I have to get to the gym. I have to stay eating healthy because this is where I'm happy.
Yeah.
And this is what makes me feel good. So I just keep reminding myself, this is what makes you feel good. This is what you want. So, and I have people depending on me to do it. So I made the investment in doing this every month. So I have to do it.
True. It does motivate you a little bit more when you're financially invested. You're like, oh crap, I'm not getting paid to work out, but I am paying to work out. So I got to do this.
Exactly.
Well, good. So Cassie said, I think I've said this before on another call, but I try to follow the 5-second rule. I believe that means she counts down from 5 and then just does it. Is that right?
Yeah, just like when I don't feel like doing it, I'm like, well, I sit in it for a couple of seconds, and then I'm like, all right, let's go. We're doing it anyway. I get to like wallow for 5 seconds and then be like, all right, doesn't matter. I have to do it.
Oh, I like that. Being like, okay, I'm going to give myself 5 seconds to feel bad, and then I'm going to go do it. 5 seconds to curse in my brain, and then I'm going to go. All right, Cambry. Let's hear what Cambry says.
Yeah, I kind of do something similar to what people have been saying. It's kind of just I just go to the gym and I think, okay, I'm just going to do a little bit, right? And if I can just do a little bit, that's okay. But then I get there and then I start doing it and then it's like, oh, but I want to beat my previous weight or I want to beat my previous rep. So then I get excited and then it just kind of gets me into then actually completing the full workout, where when I first went, I was like, I'm just going to do like 3 of the exercises. And so it kind of like just tricks yourself pretty much is what I'm doing.
Totally. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, once you get started, well, I think the best thing for me is tracking my workouts. So I can be like, okay, well, I did this last time and I'm not weaker than I was last time. So I can at least do that. And then I try to beat myself. So I think tracking workouts has definitely helped me a ton there. Kyle said he will apply the 5-second rule to literally every aspect of my life moving forward. You can use that with dating too.
I don't know if you can do that for dating, Kyle. Sorry.
Wow.
5 seconds in the car, being like, oh, 5
Yeah.
4, 3, 2,
Shit.
At least give the girl a minute before you decide. 5 seconds.
Consent is good. Okay, Lacey. Let's pick on Lacey.
So I'm actually really excited because I moved to Washington a couple of days ago, and the place that I moved into, the gym, I can see right outside my window. So it's really nice to be able to just walk over there. But definitely my plan is first thing in the morning before work, I plan to go over there and just do something. Because I always got in the habit of coming back from work and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I don't feel like doing it. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow, it's just a repeating snowball effect. So that's definitely something I'm going to start doing in the morning, is just walking over there, just getting it done first thing in the morning, and then just making it that habit.
Yeah, No, that's awesome. I do like getting it done first thing in the morning, just so it's like it's not lingering over your head all day. You're like, oh, I have to go get my workout. I have to do my workout. So it always is nice just to get it done in the morning if you can. Okay, cool. Is there anybody else that wants to share their baseline that I didn't pick on? We have a few people on the call today.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Okay,
And I'm not even saying this. It's kind of like, I don't remember who said it, but talking about the investment. So when you got, you got chips on the table. But I literally, I printed out the first picture I ever sent you, Caitlin, of myself. I'm serious. Like if I don't want to work out or, whatever, I literally look at that and I'm like, what the crap, and then just look at where I am today. And
yeah,
then it's really easy from that point. Like
totally. Yeah. Be like, look,
really easy from that
I
point.
know how I felt like that back then in that photo. I don't ever want to feel like that again. So I'm just going to go do it. So
Yeah, it's rare.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've looked at it at all this year, but I have it in the same spot. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I will look at that and be like, what the crap? And then we'll go and work out very hard. But I love tracking. I love tracking because I tick them off as I go, so, and I love the fact that you can see the previous weeks right next to it. So when you do make any changes, even incremental changes, it's really cool to see that in real time. So
yeah, I love how the app just really boosts you up too. It's like,
yeah, it's awesome.
Even if you add like 1 pound or something like that to the exercise, it's like you hit PRs today, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
Well, yeah, the best too is like when you're, I don't want to say stuck, but you're working through it, and you finally get over that hump of a particular exercise or whatever. So
yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
No, it is cool. And it's cool to see how far you've come to. Because like when you first start the program, you're like, holy crap, this weight feels so heavy. And then you look back and that's like your warm up weight now. And you're like, whoa, I am strong now. This is cool. I didn't realize my body was capable of that.
Well, I was stuck at the, 135 pound squat club forever. And now I warm up at 185.
Oh,
like
dang.
That's my warm up now. So like, it's crazy.
Oh, that is awesome. Sweet. Okay, cool. Well, is there anybody else that wants to say anything, throw anything into the pot?
Yeah, I'll say something. So, yeah, I just two things that you said kind of resonated with me. One is this idea of win the day, which is kind of a new concept for me, maybe a year and a half ago. And I use it every day for everything. Like, what's the minimum to win the day? And I know you talk about win the day versus win the week. For me, win the day works. I like to think that way. And if I'm not up for things, I'm like, let's go down the list. And even if it's just a mental list and not written down, like just identify what it's going to take to like make me feel like I at least win today, and next things will take care of themselves. And the other thing which you said, which I really appreciated, was kind of a similar idea that I was actually a music teacher shared with me some time ago. And his advice was, don't think about being the guy who can play this particular thing in a beautiful way. Just be the guy who practices. Just be the guy who practices every day. That's it. Everything else, it is going to be what it's going to be. You can't control that. You can control, be the guy who practices. And so your idea about, I'm a person who takes care of my body. I'm a person who, strives to be healthy or whatever. Those concepts are aligned with that. And I think I'll integrate that now more readily because it feels a very positive way to think about it. So,
totally. Yeah. I think that helps when a lot of people get stuck on the scale. And it's like, whether or not the scale moves, I'm somebody who works out. Whether or not I see changes, I'm somebody who takes care of my body. So I think that will compound over the long term. I do like that thought, winning the day. Like, what can I do? Like, what's the baseline for that I can do today to actually like win the day? I think that's a cool way to look at it. Cool. Anybody else want to add some thoughts before we hop off? I think we touched on most people. If not, I picked on them before the call. Okay. All right. Well, you guys are awesome. Thanks for really participating. I think maybe I'm going to have to start asking you questions instead of having you guys ask me questions. It's much better when you guys talk. Okay. All right. Well, we will see you again next week, and have a great week. Finish the month off strong.